The phone screen glowed like a cruel beacon in the dark, its light slicing through the quiet of our bedroom. It was 2:17 a.m., and the notification, a single text from Jess, burned into my retina. Miss you already. Last night was unreal. My thumb hovered over the screen, heart hammering so loud I swore it would wake her. Beside me, Lena slept, her breathing soft, oblivious to the storm brewing in my chest. I didn't unlock her phone. Not yet. But the weight of that message, its casual intimacy, felt like a blade pressed against my throat. We'd fought earlier that evening, voices sharp enough to cut glass. If you don't like me going to clubs with my single friends, you're just controlling, Lena had snapped, her hazel eyes flashing as she yanked her jacket from the closet. I'd stood there, dumbstruck, my protest lodged in my throat like a stone. She'd been going out more lately, every Friday, sometimes Saturday too, her laughter brighter, her dresses shorter. I told myself it was nothing. She was just reconnecting with old friends after a rough year. But the way she'd started guarding her phone, tilting the screen away when I walked by, planted seeds of doubt I couldn't uproot. I slipped out of bed, the hardwood cold against my bare feet, and padded to the kitchen. The fridge hummed a low, mocking drone. I poured a glass of water I didn't drink, staring at the phone I'd carried with me. Miss you already. The words looped in my mind, each syllable a fresh wound. Jess. Her best friend since college, always at those club nights, always posting photos of them laughing, arms slung around each other, glitter-dusted and carefree. But unreal? That felt too intimate, too loaded. My stomach churned with a cocktail of dread and denial. I wanted to be wrong. God, I needed to be wrong. The next morning, Lena was all smiles, humming as she brewed coffee. The domesticity of it, her hair tied up messily, the scent of roasted beans, felt like a cruel parody. You're up early, she said, glancing at me over her mug. Her voice was warm, but her eyes darted to her phone on the counter, a split-second betrayal. Couldn't sleep, I said, my tone flatter than I meant. You got in late. She shrugged, stirring her coffee. Yeah, it was a wild one. Jess was on fire, dancing like she owned the place. A laugh too bright, too forced. My chest tightened. I wanted to ask about the text, to demand answers, but the words felt like accusations I wasn't ready to own. Instead, I nodded, my smile a fragile mask. The day dragged, each hour a slow drip of paranoia. At work, I couldn't focus, my eyes drifting to my phone, half expecting a confession that never came. I scrolled through Jess's ex-posts, hunting for clues. A photo from last night. Lena and Jess, cheeks flushed, leaning into each other at some neon-lit bar. Lena's hand rested on Jess's waist, her smile wide but unreadable. The caption. Nights like these. No context, just ambiguity that gnawed at me. I told myself it was nothing. Friends got close at clubs. They danced, they laughed, they posted cryptic captions. But the seed of doubt had sprouted, its roots coiling around my heart. That night, Lena went out again. Just a quick drink, she said, slipping into heels that clicked like a countdown. I didn't argue this time. I waited until her car pulled away, then grabbed her iPad from the nightstand. We'd always shared passwords. Hers was still my birthday. The messages loaded, and there it was, the thread with Jess. My hands shook as I scrolled. Flirty banter, late-night selfies, heart emojis. And then a week ago. I can't stop thinking about you. I know it's wrong, but it feels so right. Sent by Lena. My vision blurred, the words searing into me like a brand. Jess's reply. I feel it too, but we can't hurt him. The room spun. I dropped the iPad, its thud muffled by the rug. Hurt him. Me. The man she'd promised forever to. I wanted to scream, to shatter something, but all I could do was sit there, drowning in the wreckage of my trust. Every late night, every guarded glance, every, you're just controlling snapped into focus. How long had I been blind? How many excuses had I swallowed? When Lena came home, I was waiting in the dark, the iPad glowing on the coffee table. She froze, her purse slipping from her shoulder. What's this? She asked, voice trembling. You tell me. I said, my voice low, jagged. You and Jess. How long? Her face crumpled, but only for a moment before defiance flared. You went through my stuff? That's low, Ethan. Don't. I snapped, standing. Don't make this about me. I saw the messages. I saw you. She sank onto the couch, hands twisting in her lap. It's not what you think, she whispered, but her voice cracked, betraying her. Jess and it just happened. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Didn't mean it? My laugh was bitter, hollow. You told her you can't stop thinking about her. That's not an accident, Lena. Tears welled in her eyes, but I felt no pity, only a raw, aching void where love used to be. I was confused, she said. I love you, Ethan, but things haven't been right with us. You've been distant, and Jess, she was there. She listened. I wanted to scream that I'd been here too, begging her to talk, to stay, but the words died in my throat. Instead, I asked, do you love her? Silence stretched, heavy and suffocating. Her hesitation was answer enough. I don't know, she finally whispered. I think I might. The confession hit like a physical blow, stealing my breath. I'd braced for betrayal, but not this. Not the possibility that she'd fallen for someone else, someone I'd trusted too. I thought of Jess's laugh, her easy charm, the way she'd always hugged me a little too long. Had they both been playing me? Or was Lena's guilt real? Her confusion as raw as my pain? I grabbed my keys, the metal biting into my palm. I need air, I said, my voice barely mine. As I stepped into the night, the cold air stung my face, but it couldn't numb the truth. My world had fractured, and no amount of love or denial could piece it back together. Behind me, Lena's sob echoed, but I didn't turn back. Not yet. Maybe not ever. The street lamp flickered, casting jagged shadows. Somewhere in the distance, a car alarm wailed. And I walked, heart pounding, wondering if trust could ever be rebuilt, or if some betrayals cut too deep to heal.